Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, you guys, this is from Wikipedia, and I'm going to be coding certain words, and I'll let you know what codes that I'm using. R2-45. This is Scientology term. R2-45 is Scientology slang for murder or S by G. Okay, by G-U-N, I'm going to say G instead. How many of these have we seen, you guys? These R2-45s. L. Ron Hubbard described it as an enormously effective process for exteriorization, basically getting, leaving your body, out-of-body experience. But its use is frowned upon by the society at this time. Don't you guys wonder what moronic imbeciles write this? Frowned upon. Frowned upon. You guys do know that Aleister Crowley and people that are really into him, I have never been able to verify, but I do know that people that are and were into Aleister Crowley are very, very much into blood sacrifice. It's a fact. In Scientology doctrine, exteriorization refers to the separation of the thetan, soul, from the body. I don't think thetans are our souls. I'm not sure who wrote this, and no shade to anyone. From the body, a phenomenon which Hubbard asserts, allegedly, can be achieved through Scientology auditing. At a cost, you guys. At a cost. And let's not forget the child auditors, the child interrogators, especially the ones that have to do the introspection rundown, the Johannesburg rundown. All illegal questions, but all unlawful questions. But what do I know? R2-45, is he referring to the GUN known as the 45? Which are quite heavy, by the way, is said to be a process by which exteriorization could be produced by shooting a person in the head with a 45 caliber pistol. Call that. This literal meaning is acknowledged by the Church of Scientology, although they deny that it is meant seriously. Kind of like the fair game doesn't exist. What else doesn't exist, you guys? Let's see. Think about this. What else do they say does not exist? RPF? Don't they also say the cadet school did not exist? I mean, we could go on. Origin of R2-45. In the book, The Creation of Human Ability. Imagine people are actually supposed to believe this. Hubbard describes 2 training routes with the exercises in Route 1, numbered R14 to R115, and the exercises in Route 2, numbered R216 to R275. R2-45 is simply described as an enormously effective process for exteriorization, but its use is frowned upon by the society at this time. Hold on. Okay, I just wanted to bring this up real quick. Scientology, strange death of Flo Barnett. Okay, they're not really giving details in this. Okay, this is the Village Voice. Strange death of Flo Barnett, mother-in-law to Scientology leader David Miscavige. January 25th, 2012 by Tony Ortega. Okay, I'm not going to get too deep into this. You guys can go look up this article. I'm not going to put the link. Okay, so Kitchings was one of the alleged investigators. You guys know what I'm saying. It was in 1985. She was an investigator with the LA Department of Coroner. On the night of September 8th, she was called to Dominguez Valley Hospital in Compton. Compton, you guys? What on earth was this lady doing in Compton? To conduct a gunshot residue test on the hands of the dead woman, allegedly. Talking about Flo Barnett. Flo Barnett, by the way, was Shelley Miscavige's mother. And anyways, you guys should go look into all the details of her death. One, she was a very petite person, and they were trying to pass off that she actually did herself in with this big, long shot gun. It wasn't adding up. Okay, origins of R2-45. I'm just going to skip down to the middle of this paragraph. Stuart Lamont, in one of a series of lectures called the Philadelphia Doctorate Course, held from December 1st to 1952, Hubbard demonstrated R2-45 by firing a Colt into the floor of the podium. I've heard this before. I mean, you gotta just listen to this insanity. According to an unnamed veteran Scientologist who appeared in the film R2-45, first appeared in a 1954 lecture given by Hubbard in Phoenix, Arizona, in which he described a series of auditing processes in numerical order. When he got through talking about R2-44, he came out wearing a full Western garb like you might see in John Wayne movie. I believe this is Hubbard. Then he said something to the effect, and now we have an R2-45. And he pulled out this gun, and blam. It was loaded with blanks, of course. Of course it was. That's what he's saying. But it woke everybody up. He said something to the effect, it's a very effective process for exteriorization, but frowned upon it at this time by society. Does that give you an Aleister Crowley vibe, you guys? Decades later, Hubbard's estranged son, Ronald D. Wolfe, said that he had been present at a meeting where his father fired a pistol into the floor to illustrate R2-45. D. Wolfe commented, "I thought he was kidding and that it was a blank, but it wasn't." Boy, I don't want to be arrogant, you guys. I don't want to be arrogant, but that it was a blank, but it wasn't. It wasn't. And this fool is trying to tell everyone he's some kind of war hero, right? The moron shot into the floor. There was a hole in the floor. It was for real. He meant it. So much I want to say, but I can't say it here. Babbling of an idiot is what I see when I read this stuff. R2-45 in Hubbard's lectures. Hubbard mentioned R2-45 in several more lectures given to Scientologists in the 1950s and 1960s. In the 1956 lecture, Exteriorization, Hubbard referred in passing to R2-45. A footnote in the transcript refers to the process as being used humorously. In a lecture of 1958, Hubbard commented that death is not the same as clearing, but there is. Remember R2-45, it's a very valid technique. A lot of people have used it before now. He said in a 1959 lecture that even cops or gangsters could make a clear out of a person by taking a Webley 38 or Smith & Wesson or Colt or something like that and doing R2-45. See how he changed the verbiage there? All these cops and government officials playing along with it. Don't you guys wonder why that is? An extract from this lecture was published on the internet in 2009 by WikiLeaks. In a 1961 lecture, he said, "If that fails you, well, you've always got SUA blide. You could propose that to the PC, pre-clear, like the kids. Like the children that are pre-clears. Go watch my video where they're so proud of it, they do little plays with children in it, and they label them pre-clears and auditors. Isn't that great? That would solve his problem, R2-45, by its various other techniques. Too bad someone didn't use that one on him. He called it a big process that would take a PC's head blank. In another lecture a few months later, to which the transcript records that the audience responded with laughter. What kind of people would laugh at something like that? Sick. Some critics of Scientology and ex-Scientologists have alleged that R2-45 was invoked by Hubbard to authorize the K, you guys know what that means, of individuals regarding an antagonistic to the Church of Scientology. Could it be that Quentin Hubbard was asking questions? If I'm not mistaken, you guys, I think Quentin Hubbard went to the level of OT8. Representatives of the Church of Scientology have said that Hubbard's description of R2-45 was coined as a joke. Oh boy, now that's hilarious, you guys. That's a hilarious joke, isn't it? On two separate occasions, orders to use R2-45 on specific individuals were published in a prominent Scientology magazine. On March 6, 1968, too bad he couldn't have been the first practice, right? Issued an internal memo titled Racket Exposed, in which he denounced 12 people as enemies of mankind, the planet, and all life, in order that any Sea Org member contacting any of them is to use auditing process R2-45. The memo was subsequently reproduced, with another name added in the Church of Scientology's internal journal, the Auditor. Would you guys love to know how many children they have on the cover of that Auditor magazine? Or wait a minute. Maybe they thought better of it and didn't put children on the cover of that Auditor magazine. Wonder why that would be. Another 4 people were named in a second R2-45 order, published in the Auditor later in 1968. Stephen A. Kent of the University of Alberta characterizes such orders as demonstrations of the manifestation of Hubbard's malignant narcissism, and more specifically his narcissistic rage. There you go. He must have been in one of those narcissistic rages when he made that guy, that elder man who was trying to protect his family, push the peanut around on the Apollo ship until his nose was bleeding all over the place. Must have been narcissistic rage. I mean, look at Hubbard. He's not the most attractive, nor was he ever an attractive man, in my opinion. The Santa Rosa News-Herald reported, in 1982, the attorneys have uncovered evidence, listen to this, to suggest that between 1975 and 1977, during the FBI's investigation of the cult, meetings of Scientology executives were held in which there were discussions relative to auditing high-level FBI members with auditing processes R2-45. Don't you guys wonder what else is covered up, you guys? You guys. Suppressive Persons, Scientology Controversies. Okay, I will leave a link in the description box. Like and subscribe if you choose. Otherwise, have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Peace.